Good morning. My name is Ben LaCrosse and this is LaCrosse Farms. Welcome to a day in the life of a cherry farmer. LaCrosse Farms was started over 30 years ago by my parents, Glenn and Judy LaCrosse, and we're still going today. We've grown to about 750 acres of cherries, apples, and plums, and so it keeps us quite busy, especially during harvest time. I'm going to walk you through a day in my life during cherry harvest, which is definitely our busiest time of the year. On a typical day, we normally start at about 6 in the morning, and we don't finish up until the last truck is loaded with cherries at about 11 or 12 o'clock at night. It's coordinated chaos to make sure that we get our fruit from the tree to the processor and ultimately to the consumer in its freshest form possible. So it's exciting, it's high energy, and we like to have a lot of fun with it. So my typical day starts by coming in and making sure that everybody showed up for work on time, everybody's here, the instructions on what we needed to harvest in the day were getting carried out, and so it's just kind of coordinating from the start of the morning. So come on with me, take a look at what I do in a typical day on my family's cherry farm.
This is a view of my A-team harvest crew working. This double incline tree shaker has two sides that drive on either side of the cherry tree. One side has a large clamp that grabs the trunk of the tree and shakes it with the chain mechanism. The other side forms a seal with the first machine so no cherries can escape. A conveyor belt transports the cherries into a bin where someone cleans out the leaves and sticks. This machine has the capacity to shake 4 trees per minute. This harvest crew harvested over a 250,000 pounds of cherries in one day last year with this machine. This is a newer technology developed in the last 15 years. The old alternative could only harvest about 2 trees per minute. Harvesting has definitely come a long way.
So this is a view of how we store brine cherries. Farmers bring in their cherries to our receiving station is what we call it, and we grade those cherries, we weigh them, and then we dewater them in this mix tank. Now, my guy is gonna slowly dump these cherries into this dewatering tank. You can see these are what we call gold cherries, a real original name for them, but that's as ripe as these cherries will get. They won't get any red pigment in their color. They'll just stay gold like this. They're very good for processing, but they're also very tasty. Is what a full pit of cherries looks like. These cherries, as you can see, are red and yellow, and they're stored in what we call like a pickling solution, a brine solution. This brine solution will preserve these cherries for up to 3 years. Usually we end up pumping these cherries out throughout the winter time. We have to peel the ice off the tops of the pits. We put a real heavy plastic liner or top over the top of these so no debris or anything can get in the top of them. We pump them out during the winter to process them into maraschino cherries.
When we're harvesting our traditional pie cherry variety, we must cool them after they are harvested. We quickly set them on our cooling pad where pipes are inserted into the tank and hoses are connected to flush the cherries with cold water. Cold water firms up the cherries and makes them easier to pit. Cherries are cooled until they reach a temperature of around 50 degrees. They can then make the trip to our local processing plant to be pitted and frozen. A lot of my day is spent on a high-low, unloading and loading trucks and coordinating trucks to and from 3 processors. In a typical year, our farm will produce between 4 and 6 million pounds of cherries, and our area of northern Michigan will produce 75% of all the pie cherries produced in the United States.
This is an average scene at the end of the day for LaCrosse Farms. Throughout the day we've had our share of minor setbacks and small victories. But at the end of the day, we move somewhere between 250,000 pounds and 750,000 pounds of fruit through our receiving station. It's a very perishable crop, and we take great pride in ensuring that it gets to the processor and ultimately to the consumer in its freshest form possible. One of the side benefits of working in an orchard like this and in a farm environment is the beauty of God's creation. And we're just very blessed to have this as our office. And if you'd like to learn more about our farm or cherries in general, you can go to www.leelanaughfruit.com or www.choosecherries.com. Thank you.